If you shoot for the moon, you get the stars, and our next guest thrown in. She's the lunar luminary who's here to sprinkle some stardust over your breakfast. To celebrate the final new moon of the year, please welcome the moon mentor we love to the moon and back. It's Kirsty Gallagher!
Good morning, Kirsty!
Oh, your introductions get better.
Kirsty is in the house. How you doing?
Really good. So good.
Now, you're in our house, but you're in a different lunar lodge.
I am.
Tell us about your lunar
I'm in
lodge.
a new lunar lodge that came about, again, as if by magic. It just feels like Marlo wants me at the moment. It feels like I'm meant to be there
Everywhere
at the moment.
wants you,
I know.
Kirsty.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean, like you know, the nature every day. I mean, I know we call the last woods the crying woods, but there's a few more crying woods now every day.
Yeah, they're not actually known as the crying woods locally. They are, but whenever Kirsty and I go there, we've never been together. We could have a joint cry, but you just moved to tears.
Honestly, I went out, I think it was the day before yesterday. I shared it on my socials. There was a moment where for about a minute, there was literally rainbow clouds and this light. It was like a portal to another universe opened.
I went for a run yesterday on the trails, that lead up to the woods, and it started raining whilst I was in the forest. And I heard it before I felt it. It was just magical. It's rain as much as you want right down on me. And then my feet started to disappear in the mud, and it was like,
you were so at one with nature.
And the harder it became, the more energy that I was gifted. It was just like, yes! So primal.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're staying in Marlow. You're going to give it a year. Mm-hmm. You're going to gift Marlow a year of your presence and see how it goes. I love that phrase. A lot of people overestimate what they can do in a week, but they underestimate what they can do in a year.
Absolutely.
Do you have a little an intention for your year in Marlow?
No, I think just be really, really open to the reason I'm there and what wants to come to me. And it's so true you say that. I used this when I used to teach yoga, and people would have these big poses they wanted, like they'd want to do a handstand or a headstand, and they'd miss all the in-between moments that I'd see week on week on week of suddenly being able to do something they couldn't do the week before, and all they'd focus on is that big elusive thing, and I'd be like, but you're missing all that little magic in between.
Yeah, I miss all the magic. I'm all about, can you do a headstand? Yes, I can do a headstand. What's next? But the more I do yoga, the more I learn to appreciate the journey rather than the destination.
Exactly.
That's the thing, isn't it?
It's the scaffolding, isn't it? Enjoy erecting the scaffolding, because it's the scaffolding that gives you the strength, or allows the strength to grow safely within its support. And then when whatever it is has finally come to be, then all the scaffolding falls off, and there you're left with this magnificent creation, which is a testament to your step-by-step, moment-by-moment compound effort, because the work works.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the journey it took to get there. There's a beautiful saying that if you can do the most advanced yoga pose with no awareness, that's like basic yoga. But if you can do the simplest child's pose with full presence of your breath,
you're winning,
and the parts of your body in contact with the mat, that's yoga.
That's yoga. That's yoga, Vassos.
That's what I'm going to learn one day.
But you do put all the work in, don't you? But you're often sort of hijacked by your destination.
Do you know, I've been doing yoga for a few years now, like 4 or 5 years, and it took me some years to have appreciation of, not force it. Don't come on, muscle up on a headstand, rather than just go through like each of the 8 steps and then just appreciate what the pose is doing for you, the pose of surrender. I'm sort of getting it. I'm a long way from getting it, but I appreciate where I am on the road to getting it.
At least you're on the road, on the path.
You're on the mat.
And that thing, Wu Wei, not forcing.
Exactly.
Because it's all there, isn't it, for us?
Always. And it's in those moments I had that. I had a nemesis pose when I was doing my teacher training in India, and everyone would just fall effortlessly into it, and I struggle and struggle and struggle. So there was one morning, I'd light a candle every morning. It's all you've got time to do when you're up at like 3:30. And I thought to myself, do you know what, for today, it doesn't matter. Because I'd started to realise 9 poses before, I was already stressed. I was already thinking about it. And that first day I surrendered is the day I did it.
What was the pose?
It was a wide leg forward fold, a seated wide leg forward fold, but everyone else would like fall effortlessly to the floor, foreheads on the floor, and I'd be somewhere like rounded back here. And it's in that one day, because I realised my body 9 poses before was like, and everything was tensing. As soon as I let go.
It's funny, isn't it? Because last week we were talking about position. So if you're in a good position, you can look like a genius, even if you're not. And if you're a genius in the wrong position, you can look like an idiot. But positions, postures, the first beginnings of the child's pose, you build it literally from the ground up.
Yep.
And Vicar Dave was around, Dave.
Yeah.
Vicar Dave was around on Saturday, and we were chatting about things, and he was talking about decisions. And he was saying, really, this for me was a big deal. Big deal. He says, really, there shouldn't be any decisions. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, because if you're in the right position, not that we always are, so we have to make decisions. He's not like, pouring cold water on the fact we have to make decisions. He said, but the more sussed and sorted you are, the better position you're in. And if you're in a good position, it's not a decision, it's an inevitability.
Because you're already there.
Because you're already there. And so you don't have to make the decision.
Dave.
It's not what do I do next in this situation? Do I turn left? Do I turn right? Is it black? Is it white? Is it right? Is it wrong? It's, clearly, it's like holding the door open for someone. It's quite clear they're going into this door, so you just hold the door open for them. So it's not a decision. It's an inevitability. You sort of have to, you don't have to make... You have to declare the decision, but the decision's already been made because it's part of the flow. Isn't that great?
Isn't it?
How good is Dave?
He's so wise.
I love that.
He
had 3 shows at the church yesterday. They call them communions and services, but for me, he had 3 shows. He had a matinee. Right, come on, Kirsty. What do you have to tell us as far as Mother Moon is concerned?
Oh, we have got such a beautiful day tomorrow. So we've got the final new moon of 2023, but it's a moon in Sagittarius. So this moon now is literally about envisioning the future. It's about what do we want for 2024. And the energy of Sagittarius brings hope and optimism and expansion. So tomorrow's a day to dream and to really dream big. There is a little but here. But if we look at nature all around us now, nature's in hibernation, right? Everything's withdrawn in. And this is the time of year that we most push against nature,
right,
where we kind of should be hibernating and resting, and instead the whole world is clamouring for our attention, and there's big lights and noise. So what this moon is asking us is that it's not necessarily a moon for doing, it's a moon for going in, visualizing, dreaming, looking at the bigger picture. If anything were possible for me, what would I want next year? If there were no limitations, what would I want next year? If I really believed in myself, what could be possible for me next year? And then just like nature's doing now, it looks like nothing's happening in nature, but beneath the surface, there's huge root systems that are gathering the nourishment and the nutrients and everything nature needs to be able to grow in spring. So this moon now is about being in that quiet and thinking, if I want to be able to make that happen for me next year, what do I need to be gathering now? How do I need to be resting? Do I need more knowledge, more information, to study something, to gain a bit more self-trust, a bit more self-belief? Like, what do I need to gather now in this quiet inward time so that I can make everything I can visualize? And just last thing, that's saying, if you can see it and believe it, you can achieve it. So I honestly believe that every dream within you is within you because you're the only person that can bring it to life. So if you couldn't visualize something, that's not your dream. But if you can really visualize something, you kind of owe it to the world to do everything you can do to make that seed, that vision within you, to nurture it and nourish it, give it life so it can grow next year.
Excuse me, round of applause from the control room. That was amazing. That was amazing. Come on, let's hear it, Kirsty. So good, Kirsty.
So everyone's got to visualise and dream big tomorrow. And then imagine what world we can create next year. Imagine that.
Yeah. And so you're wandering out into the woods of your own wisdom, and you're gathering stuff.
Yes.
Yeah? You're collecting a bit of wood or whatever you need, a bit of tinder, whatever that may be. Just have a little look round and start to gather what you think you might need or you feel you might need.
Exactly.
You might not need all of it. But, above all else, you'll be practicing this preparation practice, won't you? That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Practice getting ready. Giving yourself time and space.
Of course. And if there's a part of you that doubts and goes, oh, that couldn't happen for me, notice as well when you dream a big dream, where's the first place your mind goes to? Oh, that would never happen for me. Oh, I could never do that. Let's flip that to, oh, scares me a bit, but could that be possible?
Yeah.
And if it were possible, like what could it look like and what could I do? Like start to just flip that around so that we then imagine the possibilities.
It's interesting you talk about that visceral movement inside, because if it isn't fear and it's nervous excitement, that can it can arc all the way back to when you're 5, 6 or 7 and you were just moved by things you're naturally meant to be involved in. And then as you go to school, teachers say, how about this, how about that, which is fine. Parents say more and more, how about this, how about that, which is fine. Then your peer groups in puberty say, how about this, how about that's fine. And it all compounds and gradually gets you further and further away from your true nature. Yeah. And then when you have feelings like you're just describing, that's not the past, it's different because it's still in the present. So it's not your past coming back to hijack you. It's your deep inner present presence saying, I'm still here. Your true nature is still here.
There we go. And that's what we're going to be able to access under tomorrow's new moon. The Sagittarius moon brings that little inner flicker of light, like your little soul's light, that little glimpse of like who you came here to be and all that was possible for you when you came here to Earth, with all those dreams we had as kids.
So good. Wow. The woods in Marlow have a lot to answer for, but it's only good stuff, isn't it?
They do.
So there's Marlow, Little Marlow, Marlow Bottom. This is also Great Marlow.
Is there really?
There's all the Marlows.
How have I not been to Great Marlow?
I think that might just be the school. Because it's so funny because Great Marlow School is in between Marlow, Little Marlow, Marlow Bottom. They went, hang on, we're missing a great here. Why don't we be that? That's so cool.
Yeah.
What else is going on with you between now and the holidays?
I'm gonna practice what I'm really preaching. I'm gonna take a lot of rest.
Good for you.
Also, can we just briefly mention Mercury Retrograde tomorrow, just to give like public
first of all,
service
before
announcement?
we do that, can you just give your URL out on your Instagram so people, because people love you who follow you, but there's more people who could love you if they knew where you were.
Yep, Kirsty Gallagher. Kirsty Gallagher Instagram, Kirsty Gallagher website, Kirsty Gallagher everywhere.
That's it. No underscore, nothing.
Well, there is an underscore. You can normally find it. I think it's Kirsty_Gallagher_.
Because there are other Kirsty Gallaghers around.
There are.
None of them bad.
No,
all good, but just different.
She's a very good friend of mine. Is other Kirsty Gallagher. So I got invited to Wimbledon once. And it got all the way to the very end before I was like, I'm not the one that you want. And my brother's called Liam Gallagher.
No!
Yes!
That's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so go on, please.
Mercury Retrograde.
Yep.
Everyone goes on about Mercury Retrograde, doom and gloom. It happens on Wednesday. Mercury Retrograde Mercury is a planet of communication, of travel, of transport of information. So when Mercury retrogrades, we can expect tech to go a bit wrong. Travel goes a little bit wrong. Communication can go a little bit wrong. But what Mercury offers us, especially at this time of year, is a chance to slow down.
That's what it's doing, isn't it?
To slow down. It's all the re's: reflect, review, revise, reconsider. So Mercury retrograding just hours after this moon is again saying to us, let's look back over the year so far and let's gather our wisdom. What did you learn? How did you grow? What worked? What didn't? What did you say you were going to do and then didn't? And why? Because you got scared? Because the conditioning came in? The little voice told you you couldn't? They told you you couldn't? Why? And so in doing this, Mercury is going to give us that beautiful opportunity to review the year gone by and then alchemize that into wisdom to be able to see how we want to do things differently next year. So just a little like PSA, just think before you speak in Mercury retrograde. Slow down.
You have to speak.
Don't feel you have to, and slow down. So if you have to travel somewhere, give yourself a bit of extra time, especially at this time of year. Don't be rushing. I often talk about London. I was not living here, coming on the tube today. I always use it as an analogy that you see the people on the platform, right? That they come running on the platform and the train's just left and it's like, oh my God, like the worst thing in the world's happened, the train's gone. And you're like, there's one coming in 1 minute. Like there's another tube in a minute, but it's the end of the world because they're rushing,
it's a story
rushing.
Themselves.
Yeah. So Mercury retrograde says, you weren't meant to get on that tube.
Yeah.
Sit down, take a deep breath, have a moment, be calm. So enjoy the journey. Again, Mercury retrograde is saying, don't rush to the destination. Take your time, look out of the window, enjoy the journey. So use Mercury retrograde with this moon because your dreams will elude you if you're too busy to grab them. They'll go find someone else.
Yeah. And the glitches you're talking about in tech and communication and travel are handbrakes.
Yes. Do you need to be on Instagram right now?
Yeah.
The last 2 times Mercury's been in retrograde, Instagram's gone down. It's been really quite. It's been really like we're all like Mercury.
But it's same with Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the power within those atoms. And that's we know that's the case because
we're made of stardust.
Oh, jeez.
Literally.
Denise says, "Morning, Chris and the Tinsel team. What a gorgeous chat with Kirsty. And I love what she said, that if you can't visualize it, then it's not for you yet. Fab and insightful as always. So much to look forward to. Thank you, Kirsty." Yeah, the Wu way, which is not forcing. So you can practice visualization, but if it's proving difficult, then it's not for you. If you practice it a lot, then things come into your visualization compartment fully formed. If you try and visualize something, it comes pretty quickly, then it's for you.
Yes.
But if it gets hard and you have to close your eyes and furrow your brow like I'm doing now, it's not for you.
Yeah.
It's just not for you.
Well, again, we're trying to force. It really makes me laugh that I have to really check myself sometimes that little human me thinks I know better than the entire universe.
Yeah.
So the entire universe is like, I've got this for you. And little
Interesting, that,
human
isn't
me
it?
is like, but I want this. And the universe is like, but if you just let go of that, we've got all of this for you.
Yep.
So I've really got to check little human me sometimes because human me wants it to be this way and only this way.
Yeah. It's like being given a day pass on Towers and you know, there's all the rides you can go on for free all day and you go, no, because I'll make my own fun in the car park. No, great. Good for you. We're all going to go and do this because it's already been built. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah. The universe has already got it all
all
figured
there.
out when we surrender to it.
Every morning we wake up and we're on our spaceship, 67,000 miles an hour. At this moment, we are hurtling through space. And yet we think we can build better spaceships. We were born on the greatest one. I mean, it's fun to build the other ones. It's fun.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's a bit of fun. Kirsty, you're the best.
Thank you
You're
so
the
much.
best.
Thank you.
What are you doing for the rest of the day?
Thank you. I'm going to do a Mercury Retrograde Survival Guide live on Instagram tonight, if anyone wants to come to tell us all about how to navigate this Mercury Retrograde and how we can get through it. Because I just really want to teach people as well. It's tongue-in-cheek.
So this is live tonight on Instagram?
It's live tonight, but it's tongue-in-cheek at the moment. It's like blame Mercury and oh my God. But I don't want people to fear it. I want them to really see it as this golden opportunity to gain so much inner wisdom.
So live on Instagram tonight. One more time, what is it?
A Mercury Retrograde Survival Guide live.
I don't know what's on BBC One, but beat that. That's great, Kirsty.
Maybe we'll get it on BBC One.
You don't need it on BBC.
Maybe.
It's cooler on Instagram. You
This
leave
is
it there.
true.
Right, it's 9:09. That's Kirsty Gallagher. Check her out on social. She's all over socials. People love her. Get some Kirsty in your life and you get more light and stardust in your life. It's as simple as that.